This is WKZZ Radio Sailing, and we're back. Thanks for tuning in. This is Between Two Sheets podcast. Actually, it's not a radio station, although it could be with this radio announcer's voice. And we've got a very special guest today, which has been on the podcast many times.
Really?
Yeah, I've got more podcasts with you than anyone.
Oh, I'm touched.
Yep. So this is none other than the Pluckster, or Floppy, as Anna likes to call him.
Yeah, that's the. I'm not such a fan of that name.
I love it.
But Anna's so beautiful.
Yeah, Anna's such a cutie.
That it doesn't matter.
It's because when I told her his name was Plukky, she couldn't pronounce Plukky, and she said Floppy.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what floppy meant either, but then I had a real good cackle, and she loved it, and then that was your name.
Well, in the army, I was Clappy because...
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, got the clap. Yeah. Because the guy couldn't remember. It started with a P.
You don't want to be set up on a blind date with your buddy's friend, Clappy. Oh, that's funny. All right, so today it is part 2 of this podcast series. The first part was explaining all of the ratios for sailboat data and comparing 7 different monohulls. If you haven't seen that, go and take a look up here. And anytime during the video, if you get bored, you want to see some monohull stuff, you can click on that link.
They're not going to get bored.
Right
this
there.
is going to be exciting stuff. This is catamaran ratios with catamaran.
This is techie stuff. You got to be a little bit of a boat nerd for this one.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Don't be upset, though. Don't think, it's going to be a lot of maths. A lot of the stuff, you don't have to use any formulas because it's already published data. But you do have to have a little bit of common sense.
You got to use your head.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today, and the scope of this podcast, is going to be to explain to you what the different ratios are in a bunch of different catamarans. How many catamarans are you comparing in this one?
There's a lot, probably 20.
20, okay.
It's not all of them. I just did a cross-section because some catamarans you can't get information for.
Yeah, okay. So, but we've got like Catana, Outremer, ORC, the
HH.
The HH.
Seawind,
yeah. So all like the big
Lagoon, Leopards.
Major manufacturers he put into a pile, and then we're going to put them on graphs and show you the differences and how to measure those differences through all the numbers that you can look up through the public data site, sailboatdata.com. And whoever runs that site, thank you for that. It's a free-to-use site that just publishes reported data, so it's the data that's reported from the manufacturing companies.
So you've got to be cautious because lately, especially with the new catamarans coming out there, the older generation of boats, their sailboat data that they reported had been quite accurate, but now they're trying to maximize the ratios, and so they're not necessarily they're tweaking the numbers. Okay, so you just got to have a bit of common sense.
They're fudging.
Yeah, smokes and mirrors.
What do you call it when they're nudging the numbers?
Yeah, there's more than a nudge. They push them off a cliff sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we'll see that. And then you'll get to know our favorite catamarans from this list. And at the end of the show, we've got a surprise for you. So,
do I know what the surprise is?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I'm proposing marriage. So just to give you a little bit of background on us, if you don't know us, we're both catamaran sailors. I took a Crowther catamaran about halfway around the world. I've been to Easter Island on cat. I've been all over French Polynesia, and I lost my cat off the coast of Hawaii. Well, it really didn't lose it. It just catastrophically got damaged. We tied it together with ropes and got it into port, and then actually I just found out that cat got crushed up.
Oh yeah, that's right. The guy bought it, but he couldn't pay the rent.
I sold it for $8,000 because it had new sales and stuff, and then he couldn't pay the rent, and it just got. My buddy said, "Yeah, it was really sad." I took a couple pictures for you, but I said I don't even want to see him. It's just going to make me sad. And Plukky, well, you go ahead.
Well, I had also a Crowther catamaran, a newer model. And went halfway around Australia, and it's now sitting on the other side of Australia. If you want to watch that, you can maybe look in the description. But Let's not go into it.
Actually, that's a really cool video to watch. If you've never seen it, he's on his half-sunken catamaran, like manually using the spinnaker to try to get it into crocodile-infested water so he can use the tides to fix his boat. It's pretty nuts.
It's always a drama on my show.
Yeah.
Never ends.
Nicely done.
Lightning, sharks, now crocodiles.
Pretty fun.
Ruined boats.
So anyway, we've got a...
But we're cat people, so we've got a bias towards cats.
Yes.
And there's fewer ratios to look at with catamarans on sailboatdata.com. I mean, I'm sure there's many, many other websites that you can look up other ratios. But this is just an introductory thing. Look at the numbers. I'll also give the formulas. You don't have to use the formulas, although you've got to apply common sense, as I keep on saying, because that's important. So we started. You want to just...
Well, so I just wanted to clarify one thing. We've got a cumulative probably 70,000 miles on catamarans. I'm just guessing.
Well, yours more. Mine's only
I had about
15.
Okay, so like 60,000. And we're not architects, but Plukky does have a degree in engineering, right?
Yeah, mechanical engineering. So maths and physics is not as strange to me, people.
Yeah, so this isn't coming from somebody that's not got any clue.
Yeah, but I'm not going to hold myself out as being an expert, okay?
That's exactly what I wanted to quantify.
The good thing about these numbers and ratios we're going to discuss is that they don't lie. People lie. And when you put things in words, you can get interpretation. So it's simple stuff. I'm no expert, but I have some idea, okay?
So this, again, I just want to quantify that this is not a podcast on which catamaran is best. We're just going to group a bunch of examples together, and this is more how the numbers work and how catamarans work, and like what characteristics you should look for, and maybe what characteristics you should look for that would turn you off to a catamaran, because a lot of these cats nowadays are, well, frankly, dangerous.
Yeah. The market's been ambushed by people that like to build huge apartments on water, and it's only a matter of time. And people get, the buyers are buying them, and so they're going, "This is great. Let's just build them bigger and bigger and bigger." And people are buying them, and they're going to get into trouble. And let's hope they don't.
If they're taking them offshore, because that's the argument for these big condo cats. Because if they're just a moorings charter fleet, then you're just renting it in the BVI, staying in the BVI, and maybe going 5 miles offshore.
Yeah, but people don't see that in the contract. They buy it and they go, "Well, Joe Blows just went across the Atlantic or the Indian Ocean. What? I've got a great platform. I've got a big slug of a boat. Why can't I do it?" And they do it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's get started.
So we're just going to have a little bit of fun at the start.
Okay.
You've got to have a little bit of fun, right?
All right. Sounds
now,
good.
I'm not making fun of boats, people. Well, maybe a little. Okay. So you want to just take a look at these pictures, James?
Sure thing.
And tell me some things that spring to mind. Okay.
Huge. How many levels is that? 3 levels. 3-story building. Wow, look at that swim platform. Oh my God. What was that? Wait, go back. Oh my God. I want to know what. Yeah, that one.
That one?
Yeah, that's a Fontaine Peugeot.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
No,
Jesus.
that was it. It was the Fontaine Peugeot 51. Whoa, that's such a crazy boat.
And what about this one that doesn't have any tramps? Look at this one. Look at that one.
Yeah, I know about that.
The Bali.
I've only seen one of the. Look how high the boom is on it. I've only seen one.
That's 6 meters high.
Yeah.
Or 5.5.
I've only seen one of these yachts after actually cruising, and they have a full-size refrigerator in them, like a house refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah, bolted to the wall. It's pretty funny.
That is amazing. Okay, now
that's dangerous.
So that's kind of so when you looked at that, what was the thing that first came to mind? That was in error for you.
I would say that the boom is too high.
Yeah. What else?
And they have to be too heavy. They just have to be too heavy.
I look at that and I go, weight. That's unbelievable. And what about catamarans and weight? Are they good? It's good to have weight, or is it bad to have weight?
Well, no, it's bad.
It's very bad. Catamarans need to be light.
Yeah, we were actually. I threw my silverware out one day, and I was saying that with Kim, my ex-girlfriend, and she got so pissed. Don't do that if you have a cat. Okay, talk to your girl first. Make sure it's cool with the missus. And then you can start throwing out the silverware and cutting your toothbrushes in half. But yeah. Actually, we were on such a mission to get it lighter because you can tell.
Yeah, well, weight is such a bad thing for catamarans, and it seems that the designers, it's not even a consideration at all. Anyway,
too bad.
This is something that would amuse me at the Annapolis Boat Show. These boats are so large, they even have a garage.
Oh, man, can you imagine all the extra weight?
Well, I just thought it was funny because it looked like a garage to me. You know, you can park your car there.
It's funny.
Yeah. Anyway. So now I'm going to show you all these pictures, and you know when you take pictures of boats, you can do side view, top view, different aspect view. Out of all, and this is just a random selection from the internet. What view are they not showing you at all on all of these cats?
Well, I mean, the corners are the best way to photograph a cat, but
which is the specific view?
I don't see anything from the front.
Okay. Isn't that amazing? I searched for like half an hour. I'm going, there's got to be something. It's got to be something. But I did find something on a private site. Look.
Oh man, look at that. That is so crazy.
Hold on, let me get it again.
Wow, what is that like point? That one's actually touching the water on this side. And the
it's
other
a barley.
One. Oh, is it?
It's a barley. But
wow, look at that profile. That's crazy looking.
Why do you think they're not showing you that?
Because you don't even know how to sail.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, driving around a refrigerator.
That's a slug. That's a slug. That's a fat slug.
That's a really good picture. That really kind of puts into perspective. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and that is worth more than that.
And that's why they don't show these pictures, because John Citizen's going to go, well, hang on.
Where'd you find that?
It's some private site somewhere.
I love it.
This is my private photo I took of, I think it was a lagoon.
That looks like a lagoon, yeah.
Yeah. And this one, it's a 45 or lagoon, I think.
That's a lagoon too.
And this inset here.
So yeah, I don't understand what that is. What is it?
So the one on the bottom right is a Mumby 48.
Yeah, that's a sexy cat.
And what I've done is I've tried to estimate the hull of the Mumby 48 onto a smaller Lagoon 45. And if you look at the difference, I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it?
But look at the bridge deck difference. Like, it just looks like such a more sexy cat that'll go so much faster and be so much safer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just interesting to see, isn't it? And here's a bit of video. Look at that.
Oh, the wave-piercing bows?
Yeah, but look at that. Can you see the difference? I mean...
Oh, I see. What's the boat on the right?
That's a Mumby 48.
Oh.
So look at that. I mean...
Wow, cool.
Any member of the public's going to go,
yeah, well, makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference. Okay. So let's have a look at some data.
Where'd you get that video? Was that from...
that was me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That was when, Jamie from Life on Jupiter was here.
Yeah.
He let me go film, swim around the boat and film. And I found some, well, maybe I shouldn't say what I found, but that'll be on another episode. So, no hints.
Oh, okay.
Let's not go into it, because
Okay.
I'll probably say something.
All right. Sounds good. But how was Jamie? Is he cool?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. They work very hard. I don't know if they do much, but they're working hard.
Yeah, I met him at the boat show. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah. So here I just randomly chose Leopard 50 just so we can just walk through what data is available here.
All right. This is the new one. It says first built 2019. So this is probably brand new and the latest one.
Yeah. Well, this is the one that replaced the 48, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we go through. Obviously, you got your name. What's LOA?
That's the length overall.
All right. And LWL?
Length, that's the length water line.
Yeah.
That's the wetted surface touching the boat.
Yeah. Okay. And I describe these best as the LOA is what it costs. The only thing good that you get out of that number is what it's going to cost in a marina when you berth it. It does nothing really for you.
It gives you a little more room inside.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Two things. Shush.
You're just you're vehemently into having everything be so light and so perfectly.
That's not true. but it's better to maximise and minimise where you can. All right, now LWL is, sailing comes down to three things: weight, sail area, and waterline length. It's your boat acting against the water, the purchase against the water. So where it's touching the water, that comes into the equations. That's why waterline length is the most important out of those two. The other one's just berthing fees. Let's move on before you say anything. All right. What have we got? We've got, what have we got there?
Beam,
Oh, we've
draft.
got beam and draft.
Everybody knows what that is. That's
okay.
the width of the boat and the
Yeah.
depth of the keels or dagger boards.
Right.
I wonder on dagger boards, because this boat has keels.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know, catamarans come in two flavors. Either they make mini keels on the bottom, which they call them mini keels, but really they're just like little keels that they'll run like about a third of the length of the boat in the center. And then they also have an option where you can have dagger board cases made, which are just like these cassettes that a big stick goes into. And these go down on the windward side of the boat, or sometimes you can use both of them, sometimes you don't use any. And they act as a keel for you. The cool thing about dagger boards is, well, actually a couple of things. You can put them up, and if you're in a seaway that's hitting you from the side, you can slide with the waves and you don't have anything under the water, and it's a lot less prone to tipping. And you can use them as curb feelers. So you just put them down a little bit, go like 3 knots. As soon as they hit, put them up.
This is interesting. You know the the 44, the C ones?
Yeah.
Right? You're going to use them as
No,
curb
no,
feelers?
not at all. Those are curved carbon ones, right? I bet you those cost like 20 grand each.
Yeah, no, that's probably not the best thing to do.
No, I said that as a joke. What I was going to say was you can get them a lot deeper. So you can head upwind a little higher on a catboard.
Well, a lot higher.
A daggerboard cat. Yeah, a lot higher, actually. Yeah. They're, in my opinion, I would want daggerboards if I got another cat.
Yeah, definitely. It's another option that you can use in your toolbox to get away from bad weather.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want,
Sails better.
You want as many options as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I think your question was going to be, do they give minimum draft and maximum draft? Was that?
Yeah, if it's a
They do.
daggerboard cat.
Yeah, they do.
Do they? Okay.
But this one doesn't have it, so it's not there.
And what's the draft on that thing? 5.5 feet.
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
It's like a monohull.
Wow. A Leopard 50 has a 5.5 foot draft.
I know. It's amazing.
Whoa.
And a lot of the performance catamarans are
Wow.
like small.
Well, what's the point of having a cat? I mean, other than the stability and
It's the party.
it is the party boat.
Condo
Yeah.
situation. Anyway,
That's funny.
but look, you
Whoa, look at the displacement on that thing. Holy crap. 45,000. That's more than my monohull. This is solid fiberglass.
I know, and this is the problem, people. Yeah, but that's just lightweight.
Yeah.
You know, they go have a
50.
payload. I think this one only has a payload of 6.5 or 7 ton, whereas you go to Lagoon, it's 19,956 kilos, and it's got a payload of 9 ton on top of that.
That's double the weight of the boat almost.
No. It's 29 ton, right? It's 3 or 4 times
half, yeah.
the a performance cat's weight. Well, 29 ton. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. It's just that.
That's a big
Yeah, and it's 50
boat.
foot.
It's a big boat. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's surprising. I don't remember ever seeing that they were so heavy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, they're the biggest. Leopard and Lagoon are the
20
biggest.
tons.
Oh, XS is not too great either.
20 ton for a 50-foot boat.
Yeah. Well, it's more weight for
That's
your buck.
amazing.
Now, these are the ratios we're really concerned with. I mean, everyone else, the other stuff is just basic facts about the boat.
Yeah.
A lot of people might know what these things are. So they're the 3 things we're going to look at, okay? You can also see them. They're also right at the bottom. I don't know why they duplicated. Oh, and one other thing, they also give you the height of the mast on the other page.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then sometimes they give you some additional notes that will
Wait. This
help
says
you.
this says DWL.
Yeah,
What's DWL?
above the water. And there's some additional notes here which help you sometimes decipher if they're tweaking the numbers. It makes it easier.
Oh,
for
they
me.
give you all the areas of the sails.
Some of them do. In fact, most of them don't.
Okay.
All right. First thing is displacement to waterline length. So, what's this?
Well, that is the total weight of the boat compared to the length of of this part of the boat that touches the water.
That's right. Right. So how much do the hulls carry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And with catamarans, we want the highest or the lowest?
We want the lowest.
Yeah, we want the lowest possible. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at some of these numbers. Oh, actually, no. Let's look at the formula. There's a nasty formula. Well, it's actually not that nasty.
It scares me.
Okay. But I've just put it in just so people know what it is. You don't have to work it out. You can just look at the PDF on sailboatdata.com. Oh, yeah, we're not sponsored by this at all. It's just, I don't know why I said it like that.
Why is it cubed and divided by 2240?
Oh, okay. So so the displacement's in pounds, and we divide it by 2240. That's for... Okay, how do I explain this? That's to make it just a more reasonable number to deal with. Okay?
Yeah?
Yeah, because isn't there 2240 pounds in a ton?
Oh, is that what that is? Okay, so they're just converting it to tons.
But remember, okay, that is not so important. What's important is why is the LWL cubed at the bottom?
I don't know.
All right. So this formula is a dimensionless number, okay? And what that means is if we look at displacement can be in the units foot cubed. So if you divide it just by length along the waterline, which is in feet, overall you'd have foot squared left over. So that's why they've cubed the bottom. So when you've got foot cubed on the top over foot cubed on the bottom, they cancel and it becomes a dimensionless number. And that's the good thing about that in physics is we can then compare things between lengths of boat and have no fear of it, giving us misleading results. I wouldn't be comparing two boats too far away from, say, 48 feet. I wouldn't compare 48 to 148 because other things are going to come into it. But in a range, that's a dimensionless number will give you the best results.
I love it, Plukky.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Can I call you Professor Plukky?
Yes. Rather that than Professor Floppy. Although the Professor Floppy would be even better, wouldn't it? Because Professor...
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
It's a dichotomy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at all of this on the graph.
Let's see. We've got length and waterline on the bottom and displacement to length and waterline ratio on the left. So as you said, we want the lowest displacement to length and waterline number to show up.
Yep.
And that looks like the lowest number is the Dazcat, followed by the, what is that? ORC 50.
ORC.
By the Outremers, and then it goes to a bunch of other ones. And then the top ones are the Leopard 50, the Lagoon 50, and the Leopard 48.
Excess, and okay.
Excess of a heavy boat too? I don't know. I don't know much about that.
Excess, I think they sold them the old Lagoon molds.
Oh, they're Lagoons.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're the old ones.
Yeah, then they're slugs, huh?
Pretty much. I've highlighted the performance cats that I think are performance cats. Now, there are people going to say, oh, that's a whole lot of rubbish. You just grayed out what you wanted. Well, yes, I did.
This is my podcast and my graph.
Yeah.
Get your own graph.
Well, I think, look, anything that's going into the grey is just going to be less performing, okay? The ones in that highlighted area, I think they're the bee's knees.
All right, cool.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that Dazcat. That's a cool looking cat. What does that cost?
Oh, yeah. You want to...
Hissy fit.
It performs both sailing and it performs well for the sellers. $1.7 million.
Holy moly. Do they all come with carbon rigs?
No, I think they're all options.
Oh,
so if you
my
optioned
God.
it up, it's going to be pretty exy. But don't take my word for that. You'll have to research it yourself. They're just expensive all round, okay? ORC is less so, but still, I think more than $1 million, 1.1 or something.
I like the ORC too.
Yeah.
I saw the first one in Tahiti.
Oh, yeah.
The hull number 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool. When I saw it, I was like, just stopped the boat and like, what is that? That looks so cool.
I wonder why they called it 0. Why wouldn't you call it 1?
It was the prototype.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't sell it.
Oh, okay. All right. Next ratio, sail area to displacement ratio. This is a bit like your horsepower to your car, all right? You got to have adequate horsepower. There's the formula, bit scary. Do you know why we divide that by 64 at all?
Yes.
Oh.
Displacement is divided by 64 because 1 pound one cubic foot of water weighs 64 pounds.
Exactly.
So then we're turning it into cubic feet, and foot squared.
No, you're still in cubic feet.
Oh, that's
there.
right. That's right. And then you take it to the 2/3 power to turn it back to square feet, which makes this also a dimensionless number.
Right.
Which is so much easier in metric. Why don't we switch to metric? Oh, well, half my demographic is Americans, and they're going to get super pissed that I just said that. But it does make sense. Look, it proves it right here that is just easier to understand.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let me get back to here. So if
you don't have anything to say on that subject,
I welcome all my American guests and patrons. If you want to say, you want to use formulas like slug per foot second squared, if you want to use these units, by all means.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. So if you're looking at the sail area to displacement ratio, the ways you can tweak it to give you a false impression is you can increase your sail area, or you can decrease your displacement. And either one, or both, and either one of those will tweak your sail area to displacement ratio. It'll make it go up. And this is, you got to be aware of what they do, okay? Traditionally, when it comes to sail area, it was just simply your mainsail plus your 100% four-peak triangle area. Now, what's happened with catamarans, because they're getting really, really big roaches, right?
And if you don't know, a roach is everything outside that triangle with the P and E. You know, if you make a triangle from the top of the mast to the back of the boom to the forward where the boom and the mast meet, that triangle is called the main triangle, and everything outside of that. So now they're making sails that literally go straight up and then straight over. They're called fatheads.
But are they?
Are you going to have a fathead?
Are they rectangular?
No. Yeah. They're nearly rectangular.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah,
they're not quite rectangular, but they look funny.
Is the next what would you call it? Evolution where the roach at the top is bigger than the foot?
It's actually known the next evolution. We're going to go back to pirate ships where we have completely square sails.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So traditionally, it used to just be the triangle. So EP divided by 2, area of a triangle, and then IJ divided by 2. But because the roaches came in, we started dividing by 1.8, and then we started dividing by 1.6 because the roaches were getting bigger.
I know why they divide it by 2. Because it's a triangle.
That's right. That's right. You are amazing.
I know. I don't even have a degree.
All right. You've got a degree in hard knocks.
If anybody wants to give me an honorary degree, my address is.
Okay, but then it's changed, and now it becomes not just these formulas dividing by 1.6, it's actual mainsail area plus your four-peak triangle area, which is IJ over 2.
Well, don't you think that's fair? I think that's fair.
And that's the way you would think, you're going to compare apples with apples. But now...
Like we're shipping this with this much area, let's not use a triangle if we're not giving you a triangle.
Yeah, but now they're not doing that. They're actually reporting the sail area, the four-peak triangle area. They don't actually put that in. They give you a Genoa on the boat, which could be anything like a 135 or a 150 or God knows what it could be.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a couple of these manufacturers that put on ridiculously large Genoas in their numbers.
Yeah.
And they're not shipping them with that. And there's no way you could actually sail, like for instance, the Bali, with a 190 Genoa. There's just no way the thing would tip over.
The Bali's an exceptional case because apparently it's a performance catamaran.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Somebody screwed up there. They skewed the numbers so much. They put it like next to an Outremer.
That's very funny. So
maybe they did it as a joke.
Well, no, I think there's another joke there. But anyway, we're just going to use the 100% four-peak triangle area. So and plus the mainsail area, okay? And then we are comparing apples with apples, okay? So I had to go through the data and Try to work that out. Look at the
I'm
barley.
ready.
Do you notice that? Look, the barley's like number 4 or 5th.
Yeah, if you look
amazing.
if you look at this linearly, like get rid of the waterline length and just smash all these things to the left, the barley is right there next to Catana, right under Dazcat, and right up there with HH, which is insane.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, and above the Outremer. This is what we were talking about.
Okay. All right. So I
love this graph.
I've had to. So the higher the higher the numbers, higher on the graph, the better the performance. So the top 3 are ORC 50, Dazcat next, and the balance 526. Okay, and then apparently barley's not too far beyond that. Okay, so I'm going to divide this up into performance catamarans. So I'm going to shade the less performing catamarans. Now you notice the Outremer seems to be a less performing catamaran, doesn't it? But it's not actually, because they've underquoted their sail area. They're one of the few that have done that. Incidentally, ORC also has to be tweaked down because they've got a Genoa on it. Barley, plummets off the side of a cliff.
I love it.
Outremer has to go up clearly in the performance category because they've actually supplied the data based upon their self-tacking jib, and the self-tacking jib is obviously smaller than 100% for 4-peak triangular area, and so I've tweaked the data back to a correct ratio. Outremer 51 is also been tweaked up back into the performance category.
Do all of those have a self-tacking jib on them?
Those two do, and the HHs do too. I had to tweak them as well.
Is that something? I mean, I'm sure that you can get a different option for that. But what do you think about self-tacking jibs?
They're not more. I think it would be hard for you to balance that rig. It's going to be more work for your autopilot because you can't really get. Because you know how you need a balance between your jib and your main, right? Yeah. And even though it's very convenient to have a self-tacking jib, well, it's not a balanced rig. So it's going to be more work for your autopilot, more damage in the end, I think.
I took a boat across the Atlantic this summer.
Underpowered.
And it had a self-tacking jib. Nice sailing boat. It was a Bavaria 57C. I hated the self-tacking rig. I put 3,000 miles on that boat, and I hated that thing. It was like it just cut my knees off, like cut my legs off below the knees, just lopped them right off. I couldn't get the sail area I needed to balance it. I couldn't get the sail area I needed when the wind was in the specific direction. I couldn't heave to on the boat. It was just altogether a horrible idea for a cruising boat.
Actually, that's a good point. Heaving to on a catamaran can be quite temperamental, especially with lighter boats and performance catamarans. So yes, that would be because you'd need
I think it would be an impossibility, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of that. It has to be bigger, definitely.
I agree.
All right, so I'm still tweaking here. Yeah, the XS drops off too, and I think the Leopard goes as well. Oh yeah, HH I also had to tweak up, and the OC.
Is that a real boat yet? Have they made any of those?
Oh no,
yet?
This is the 50.
No, I'm talking about the HH44.
It's not quite, but it's practically ready. I think it's coming out in this year, like soon.
Okay.
So
I just wondered if it was a real boat.
I don't know much about it. I really tried to. I mean, they've got sailboat data.
Well, they don't know much about it. I mean, even if they put it all through all the computers ever, you don't really know until you have a boat.
Perhaps, but it seems strange to me that it's going to outdo even a tweaked HH50, being so high.
Oh, so, I see what you're saying.
Look at it. HH44, it's 2 meters shorter. And the mast is 4 meters shorter than the HH50. So, and yet the sail area is quoted in sailboat data as being more on the HH44 than on the 50. Now, I know why, because, I told you about the 50, they've got that self-taking jib, so it cuts it back a bit. But why did they underquote it for the 50 and then or either overquote it or give the 100%? I don't know why they do this.
Pick me.
Okay, why?
To sell them.
Smokes and mirrors, people.
It doesn't matter afterwards. Like, oh, guys, look, no one's going to even say anything.
Yeah, there was a 7, right? And
no one's even going to say anything. They all bought the boat. They're not going to say like, hey, by the way, I'm going to devalue my boat right now by coming out to everyone that it really doesn't have the sail area that you told me it did.
And I was even doing a proportion analysis by
sail.
merging the boats with side plan views so I could just get an idea if they were tweaking it too much. And I could not find a side picture plan drawing.
It's not a boat, dude.
Yeah, I know, but they have got a computer and they have had it got on CAD.
They can't just give those out because what if somebody steals it?
Anyway, I thought it was amazing that I couldn't get that so I could at least compare, like merge them.
Maybe that's why. It's like super hush-hush, secret, confidential stuff in the thing.
It drove me nuts.
Don't take any of this home, guys.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's just one of those things. Smokes and mirrors, people. Smokes and mirrors.
Huh, interesting.
All right. Oh, yeah, mast height. You mentioned mast height?
Yeah.
Yeah, if your boat gets really, really heavy, you can go up in mast height. Now, might confuse you a bit. This is the weight of the boat.
Oh, that's the weight.
It's
in
not
tons. Man, that's a freaking heavy boat. Look at the difference between an Outremer 45 and a Leopard 50. Holy shit.
Yeah, but look at this.
Over twice.
Excess 26-foot mast higher with an XS 15 than an Outremer 45.
Wow.
And they're about the same size boat. Length. What?
26 foot more of mast.
Yeah.
That's because they probably have a fly bridge, right? That they have to.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at these pictures. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the XS in the lagoon.
Wow, that's a lot of mast.
Oh, yeah. So there we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Look at that. That's so disproportional.
So you're right. They are almost rectangular, aren't they?
That's a fathead. Yep.
Yeah.
They're almost rectangular. They look pretty cool. Actually, that blue one looks even better. Actually, but man, that mast is so tall. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that just scares me. I look at that. Where's the center of effort?
Yeah, way high. Oh, it doesn't have a fly bridge.
That one doesn't.
Oh, you know why?
Picture.
That's why they did it. Because to get the numbers better, you can either decrease the weight of the boat or increase the sail area. And the only way to increase the sail area is a higher mast, especially on a cat, because the main is the driver on a cat, and I've said this a bunch of times before, but the dynamic on a monohull versus a cat is the foresail is really the driver on the monohull, and the main is really the driver on the cat.
Yeah.
So
that's why they
with this one, you would need 8 reefs, 8 reefing points,
or 27.
Yeah.
And it just looks.
That's how many battens it has.
It looks funny.
It looks crazy.
It's just,
imagine snapping that off.
How many bridges are you going to hit with that?
How many spreaders does it have? 2. Oh, it has the double diamond plus the top. The top's not even. Okay, I see. The diamond goes from the fractional. So it's got a diamond from the fractional down to half the mast, and then another diamond down to the bottom, and then the top just has the backstays on it. Wow.
And it's also held together with magic.
Dude, that's a really long mast.
It is.
Imagine snapping that thing off in like Ecuador and having it get shipped down 3 pieces of mast and have those guys like rivet it together, and there's no way.
The last ratio we're going to look at is the Kelsall Sailing Performance Number. There it is. Again, it's dimensionless, so everything in the square root is cancels each other out. So apparently, the way this works, I'm not so much of a believer in this number, but it's an indication. It's another thing to look at. Remember, don't put your faith in everything. All of these ratios, you've got to apply common sense. The 0.5 actually brings it down to a percentage. Where, say, in 10 knots, if you multiply the KSP by the 10 knots, that will give you the speed of the boat at 10 knots.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
That doesn't sound like a number that would work at all.
Especially
Especially looking at the formula. I don't understand. This is...
Yeah, I know.
This is a very strange number. And did you do any research on who made this thing?
Yeah, Mr. Kelsall.
Way to go, Professor Floppy. All right. Well, it just looks to me like that it would be almost impossible to have this work out, but it must.
So basically, it's just like the other ratios, same top 3. Okay. So, but I had to tweak it. As you can see, the tweaking is very much like the other ones. Okay. So to tell you the truth, I don't hold much faith in this.
This is a
what
strange
point of sale?
one.
What point of sale is it?
Yeah, and how does it? I would be more worried about every cruising boat is going to be overloaded a little bit, except yours. And I don't know about the friction aspect of it. You know, like that doesn't take into account anything like that. It's just for like this magic number that.
Well, that's right. That's the problem with a lot of these numbers because, like, for example, if we go to sail area to displacement, what if the boat was shaped like a big square barge?
Yeah.
Theoretically,
like a lagoon.
yeah. Theoretically, let's say it was just a monohull, right? And then you compared it with a barge, and the barge had exactly the same weight as that monohull, and it was square. So let's say it was a 40-foot monohull.
Yeah, that's a good
compared
idea.
it with 40
That's
and
a good
40.
analogy.
If you had the same sail area, apparently
It'll go
the
same
sail
speed.
area to displacement ratio is the same.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to sail the same?
No.
So you got to have a bit of common sense, and you're right.
Yeah,
There's
one-
more skin friction, more surface area underwater. Yes, there's a whole bunch of factors, and we haven't got a comprehensive formula because it is really, really complicated.
Yeah.
There's so many things to take into consideration. But as I said, it's a guide, and it's things to look at when you're comparing two boats that, you know, claim to be performance or claim to do something. You can say, well, hang on, this has got this ratio and it's better than this ratio. So, you know, it ought to be a better sailor or have better sailing characteristics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how are we going with time?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're at 50 minutes now.
You want to have a look at price? Just a quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Quick look at price?
I love price.
Yeah.
This is
You're not
other-
going to like price.
I'm spending other people's money.
You're not
right
going to
now.
like. You're not going to like price, my friend.
I love price.
So that's all the prices there. I'm gonna make it a bit easier. I put in a baseline price. So what I've shaded in there, because believe it or not, Outremer 45 is a reasonably priced catamaran, and I'm assuming around that figure that is the baseline. Okay, and it's also made in France.
They're great cats.
Work hours are expensive, right? Rent is expensive, so they're pushing out a catamaran that it's got to be close to. It's the cheap. Well, as you can see, it's the cheapest there. Okay, so if we look at that as the baseline, if we look at the HH50, look at it. It's 3 times.
3 times the
that
price
price.
base too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look at the other ones, HH44, Dazcat, and Balance. That's double. You know, the cheapest catamarans, or the best valued catamarans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of dollars in there, okay? And I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in YouTube, checking out how unpopular my recent video went out as, what, only 6 views? What? I'm getting HH advertising.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe it's because you like HH so much.
Subliminally.
Subliminally.
It must be, but they must be pumping a lot of dollars into
sure, yeah.
marketing.
Mhm.
A lot of them.
They're sexy cats. I
Yeah.
mean, I got to be honest, they're sexy.
Yeah, they definitely are. Do you want a final case study in Smokes and Mirrors?
Sure.
All right. So there's a YouTuber. I'm not going to name anyone's name. He was saying that his Leopard 46 had a sail area to displacement ratio of 31 or 30.6, and I went, "Wow,
That's really good.
That's even better than the Outremer." So warning bells went off because an Outremer is around 25.6,
Which is still really good.
yeah,
Like really good.
yeah, exactly. And so I went and had a look, and so I looked at the Leopard 45, the 46, the 48, and the 50. So I'll put all the numbers up here.
Oh,
make
okay,
it
yeah,
easier
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
I know I had trouble looking.
My eyes are old.
So let's have a look at this. Right?
Okay, so the 45 is 18.55. That's more like my monohull. Mine is like, I think, 16 or something.
Yep.
48 is 22.
23.
50 is 20.95. And the Leopard 46 is 30.5. It really says that?
Yeah.
That must be a typo.
Pick which one's the odd one out, James?
Maybe it's just a typo. It's got to be a typo.
No, it's no typo. And we've got YouTubers that are holding themselves out as being, advising people on catamarans, actually quoting these numbers.
Saying like, this is the best catamaran in the world. It says right here.
Yes, exactly, and not even checking. So I'd be very suspicious of these people, okay? Anyway, so let's just have so I thought I'd just do a quick analysis, right? So we know the sail area displacement. Remember that formula? Okay, so let's have a look at all these things. So we can increase the sail area displacement, as I said, by increasing the sail area or decreasing the displacement, all right?
Or increasing the mast height.
Yeah, well, which is makes your sail area bigger, right? So I graphed it, all right? Now, if we look at the graph, so on the left-hand, the left-hand axis is the sail area, and along the bottom is waterline length. See how your Leopard 46 sort of has a massive overload in the sailing area?
Massively bigger sails.
It's almost 150 metres squared. So if you look at the curve, it should be around 126.
Yeah.
Okay. But there could be a reason for that. Maybe the mast is really tall.
Yeah, maybe it's huge.
But look at the mast height.
Oh, that actually looks a little smaller than it should be.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, to get that sail area right, if you're using a 100% four-peak triangle area, the mast would have to be somewhere
in like the 30-meter range.
Near the top of your mast?
Yeah.
About there on this graph. Something like that. That's a joke, people.
Yeah, we're on a boat.
It's up.
Yeah.
It's up.
Interesting.
So the mast hasn't gone up, but the sail area miraculously has. Okay, so we go further.
I get what you're saying here. Keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Bring on the Leopard.
So now, it can't be the sail area. You can't magically increase that four-peak triangular area if you haven't increased the mast height. So it must be the weight that they've decreased. Now look at this.
Wow.
Look at the weights.
That doesn't make sense.
So your Leopard 45 is 15,000 kilograms, and then suddenly the Leopard 46 is down to 11,000?
There's no way.
How's that possible? And look, I mean...
They made a catamaran out of helium. Instead of balsa, they use helium.
Yeah. Polystyrene.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so now if we just, on the basics, if I used a proper sail area and I used these figures that they've got there, we get a sail area. So if we've got 15,550 and 11,000, we get these two sail area to displacement ratios. So with that mass, it's down to 20.6. Now, does that seem more...
That's probably what it is, actually.
I think it is. Okay. Yeah. And if you threw everything out, the kitchen sink, the mast, the wife, the toilet paper, the silverware.
The silverware. You have to throw the silverware
If
out.
you throw all of that stuff, no water, no engines, no nothing, you got it down to 11,000. You can't go anywhere. You can't sail anywhere. But your sail area is now what still beats the Outremer, because I think Outremer was 25.6. It's 25.9.
Perfect.
Anyway, you can make up your mind. I don't know the answer. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an analysis so you can, see the smokes and mirrors that I had to deal with.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Nicely done. Really good job with that. That was really well done.
All right.
All right, people. Look. If you've followed it this far, we're almost done. We just want to have a little bit of conclusion here, and actually I'll let Plukky go for that.
Okay, I'm just going to put a bit of a disclaimer here. I've been talking about maximising these ratios or minimising these ratios, but there's a limit. You got to still have structural integrity to your boat. I mean, it's all well and good to have this speedster that's great, that's sailing the markers in a bay and always winning. But is it going to be an adequate cruiser going around the world? No. So you've always got to make sure the boats you're looking at have structural integrity, and the ratios might be great, but the boat may not be so good. So the boat still has to be strong. But having said that, these are numbers and they are flawed because sailing is a very complex thing with many, many parameters, and they're very, very simplified ratios. So we look at them, we compare, they can be useful, but they can give you misleading results as well. So you have to have some common sense.
Plus there's no aesthetic in it. I mean, let's be honest, you're spending a lot of money on something that you're going to have to love. So in case you love the lagoon, good on you. I mean, you're not going to be able to sail very well or very fast, and it might be a little bit more dangerous, as this podcast has explained to you. But there is an argument to say, to each his own, and whatever you love, and who are we to tell you who you love?
Yeah, but you're a bit more forgiving. I want a boat with options. A heavy boat is a dead duck in the water. With the only thing, if you got some big storm coming and you get caught out, there's one thing you can do, and that's run with it and pray. With a faster cat, yes, it's going to be livelier, but you have more options. You can sail into wind. You can sail towards the damn thing if you want to. You've got more options. And with options is safety. That's what I reckon.
I get it. I get where you're coming from. And this isn't an agree to disagree. This is just an agree for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for me, not you so much. Okay.
I agree with me.
So look at
We agree together.
if you guys have paid attention this entire time, or maybe just skipped forward till the end of this thing to figure out what I'm giving away, we are giving away 2 shirts apiece to the top 2 comments on these videos. So top 2 comments after 30 days from the date of publish get a shirt from me and a shirt from Plukky. That's 2 shirts for one and 2 shirts for the other one. Go.
All right. Now, that's... Oh, now I'm wrecking it, aren't I?
What?
Can we end it just there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. You ruin everything, Plukky.
No, but when you said go, we'll just cut it there.
Or whatever. We can just say, hey, thanks for watching. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. If you like, I know like there's like probably 5 of you out there that this really does help. So really thank you for watching and peace, love. Become a patron if you want to like get a personalized in-depth experience with us. We have a WhatsApp group for each person, and we talk with them. I got people from my WhatsApp group on my boat right now. So you never know what that'll bring. And there's lots of cool boaters there. So,
all right. See you next time.
Peace, love, hippie beads.